guys? Welcome back to our channel. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Now the Gypsy Journals. We were Next Level Nomads. We just changed it for, we'll go into that in another video.
Gypsy Journals, baby.
Anyways, we're hanging out with our new buddy here, Tyler. He lives out of his Ford Transit. And today we're going to be discussing the pros and cons of living out of a van versus living out of a truck camper.
Yep, and then we're also going to hit the topics on as far as his build versus my van build, and then we're going to also talk about the versatility, and then I believe the cost and maintenance of overall everything. So stick around and check out my van build, and then the difference between my van build and their truck.
Which is a 2017 Ford F-350 diesel, and our truck camper is a Northern Light 811Q.
Yeah.
So for short bed. And what was the year of the 2014 was the year. We both got both of them used, and then yours was used as well.
Yep, my Transit's a 2018 Transit long wheelbase extended. High roof, so it's like almost the biggest Transit you can get pretty much, and I got it used with 20,000 miles. It's a 2018, so fairly new.
The Mac Daddy of Transits.
Hey guys, welcome to our camper. This is going to be a short glimpse into our tour. We'll do a full tour video later, but this is my favorite part of our tiny home is our dinette. It swings back and forth, and in our tour video that we film later, we'll show how it converts into a bed for guests. This is our bedroom. This is our beautiful kitchen with our freezer and fridge. It's a three-way, and our oven. We have a 3-burner stove and a giant sink.
Yeah, and just to note, it's always this clean, right?
It's clean like this about once a week for an hour.
If we're lucky.
Yep. Alright.
How often do you guys stay in here?
All the time.
Well, we live in here, but honestly, we are on the go a lot, so we don't spend like a whole lot of time in the camper during the day. It's kind of more of a place that we come and hang out in at night. We're usually out and about most of the day.
Yeah, the whole point of moving into this was so that we could see more outside than being at home all the time, so.
Nice. Do you mind showing me your bathroom and tell me about how you guys go about?
Absolutely. So we have a full-on wet bath right here. And the nice thing is that it has a door that shuts, and there's a mirror on here and on the fridge. So Kelly and I could be like both getting ready with our backs to each other at the same time.
Nice.
And for the ladies out there, you could like open up the freezer door, and it creates like a cool reflection of the back of your hair. So if you're like into hairstyling and stuff like that,
There you go, pro tip.
it's a cool option. Yeah.
So do you guys use that bathroom full time, or?
No. So we have never showered in our wet bath. We have only used the restroom in it, and we try not to as much as possible during the day. Like we'll go into Starbucks or wherever instead, just because our water tanks aren't that big, so we don't like having to go and empty them all the time, so we use it sparingly.
So I noticed that you have Louie with you. Where does he sleep at most of the time?
Louie sleeps on the perch behind you and in bed.
Depending on how clean he is.
Yeah, he's too dirty right now to be in bed, so he's been sleeping on his perch at night until he gets another bath.
Nice. Well, it seems like a pretty good tour, so I appreciate you guys just giving us a glimpse at it. And I look forward to your full detailed tour.
Yeah, we'll take a full tour video when we're in Zion in a few days, so look forward to that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so this is the roof rack that I have on the van. I'm running 4 Renogy 100-watt solar panels. So far they've been working pretty well for me. I've ran them in parallel, so that way if like one's in the shade, for example, and then the other's in the sun, then I'm still getting voltage put into my battery. Also on the roof I'm running a max air fan, and it seems to be working really well. hardly ever use it because it's like super quiet and it's pretty cold right now. Actually, I think it's starting to snow. It's kind of hard to tell. But also on the roof rack, I decided to help add like the stealthiness. I made the rack the entire length of the van, so that way it looks like a ladder rack or something like that from the top. And it's just, I don't know, I just figured all this space, I might as well make some use of it. So for the rest of it, besides the solar panels, I put some pre-treated lumber, decking just on here, so I have like a nice deck to like lay out and look at the stars and stuff. I just lag bolted it to the frame, and then all the frame is 1/8 inch angle iron, and I Line-X'd it all. I didn't Line-X it, I took it to the place to get Line-X, but did that to help stop from rust and make it last a real long time. So once I build it once, I don't ever have to come up here, and so far it's holding up pretty well. Don't have any complaints. Obviously I need to clean these solar panels. This is overdue, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So if you want, that's really it for my build, or we can go for up here and we can go look down in the actual rig itself and take a tour of that. Alright. Hey, welcome to my van. Short little tour on it. It's definitely a work in progress. I just moved out here to Utah and got a job at Black Diamond, right across the road, and it took me like, I just bought this van and built it in like 2 weeks. 1 week of it, 3 weeks technically. I was still working, but I took 2 weeks off to build the van, so I think I've done pretty good for the amount of time I've done it. Basically, if you look here, I got some cabinets stored in for like clothes and stuff like that, and I got my bed. It's actually a full-size bed, so I didn't have to cut a mattress or anything like that. I see a lot of videos and stuff. The way I decided to like lay it out is because I wanted to cater to people a lot, and have some friends over and stuff. So like I made these little benches where you can sit on them and stuff, and if you need a table, the table just slides right out. You can sit down and eat and stuff like that, and I've used this quite a bit. It's definitely well worth the time and effort to put into. Everything under here, as you can see, it's just a mess. It's just storage. It's where I put all my rock climbing gear, rope, harnesses, shoes, cams, quick draws, everything for rock climbing, because I plan on going to Moab a lot, do a lot of rock climbing. There's another reason why I chose to move here in Salt Lake. I just got some IKEA storage bins, honestly. I did a lot of stuff from IKEA to get where I am today. I got a little cheap 22-inch Philips TV. Works out really nice. I got a little antenna I just put up so I can get free over-the-air TV. And then if you want, we'll just switch sides and I'll show you the kitchen and the fridge and everything else left in the van. So over here, you can see I got my blackout curtains. The van is pretty much stock on the outside, minus the roof rack and the ceiling fan, my Max Air fan, which is above the bed. I forgot to mention that. I also forgot to mention the lights. These are just little puck lights underneath my cedar roof. This roof was fairly expensive. It took me a while to put up there, but I mean it worked out really nice, and it just looks gorgeous. And so I put out the blackout curtains to kind of give it more of a stealth look, and I'm not like having any light. And I can have all the lights on in here, and you can walk outside, and it doesn't look like anybody's in here at all. But this is like my kitchen, cooking area and stuff like that. I got most of my cooking supplies up in here. Yeti cups, bowls, Nalgene bottles, measuring cups, stuff like that. And I use a Coleman 2-burner camp stove that I have stored underneath one of the benches to do all my cooking and stuff. And then I got a nice faucet in the sink. It kind of like swivels out of the way so you can put stuff over here. And then this bowl is actually like just a Walmart mixing bowl. I've bought a bunch of stuff from Walmart, but it's a mixing bowl. Just drilled a hole into it. If you look under here, I have how my tanks are set up. I just have the gray water and then the water, my fresh water, and it's just going through a filter. It just comes in, goes through a filter, and then goes up to my faucet, and my gray water just goes in here. I do it this way so I don't have to worry about freezing pipes during the winter time, because it gets pretty cold in here, and I just have an extra jug of fresh water. And then, yeah, it's like a mess under there, but it's all a work in progress. And then, also, I have this Daewoo refrigerator. Right now I'm just using it kind of as a pantry because I don't have anything that I really need to keep cold. Definitely need your Chewy bars, ramen noodles. It's like a van life classic, you know. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as the van inside here, in the back is where I keep my propane bottle for my furnace, because I have a furnace underneath one of the benches as well. So the propane just feeds that, and then I just set a thermostat, and then whenever it gets too cold, just kicks on, and when it warms up, it kicks off. And then I also have a Renogy 170 amp hour battery, lithium ion battery. I definitely wanted to like save money where I could and put money where I thought I really needed it. So like, for example, the solar panels on the roof, definitely wanted to make sure I had plenty of electricity to power anything and everything I needed. So that way I get those luxuries, you know. And I chose the lithium ion battery because it is, they last forever. And they're a little expensive, but I mean, if you do the math and do your research, you'll notice that they last a lot longer. So it's actually cheaper in the long run to have that. And I live in this full time while I'm here in Utah, and I mean, I just travel on the weekends and just hang out with cool guys like Kelly and Hailey here. So it's been definitely a good weekend hanging out with them. Definitely made things awesome.
Right on, man. So what was like the most challenging thing about building your camper van?
Bro, it is definitely like I did us all myself. Everything here except the roof rack. A buddy of mine named Adam, he helped me a lot on the roof rack, but I did all the fabricating up. He just helped me like pick it up, paint it, mount it on the roof, you know. But everything else, like I did this all by myself. So it was like a lot of lonely, long nights, like just building this and like having really no direction or help to really go to as far as getting it done. That's definitely been the biggest challenge.
Right on, man. Well, it looks like you did a really great job, especially given the amount of time that you had to do it. What are some of the things that you're still working on?
Well, also, you know, definitely the unfinished wood everywhere in here. I want to eventually either stain it or paint it. I haven't really decided yet. And then, you know, just like the final finishing details, like putting trim in between this unfinished wood and the ceiling. And then I also have like some climbing holds up here.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, just to warm up my fingers when I go climbing and stuff. But, you know, the finishing touches really to make things nice. Like put a cover underneath the sink and like just have either doors on hinges or a curtain or something like that. And just, you know, make everything look nicer. It definitely is a really rough cut.
Awesome. Well, thanks for showing us a quick tour.
Oh, absolutely, man. I appreciate the opportunity. Welcome back. So we're going to hit some topics. First topic is going to be versatility, and we're going to compare the differences and pros and cons between a van life and a truck camper life. So I'll let you go ahead and get started with the truck.
Absolutely. So yeah, first off, we just have a higher clearance than a van, as well as better suspension overall. We have four-wheel drive and larger wheels and tires. We have all-terrain tires. They're 295 by 75. And that basically just enables us to go more places as far as boondocking. If we want to, you know, really get out into some BLM land, we just have more opportunities. Anything else, babe?
Another great thing about the truck camper is that, say we are going to be staying somewhere for a while, we can actually take the camper off of the truck and then just use the truck as a truck, drive around town without our home attached to it. So that's pretty convenient.
Makes a lot of sense, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd say the third important thing to mention would be just cargo space. We have a lot more space to bring all of our toys with us.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Definitely can understand the ability to, like, versatility of being able to use it for storage or have people, you know, because I don't think it'd be too hard for you to unload it and just throw it in the floor in here for temporary if you have a big party or something like that.
Just us hanging out with Tyler this weekend, we've been able to like leave his van here and he's been able to just ride in the truck with us. So it's definitely cool to just pile a bunch of people in.
Yeah, it definitely made it a lot easier on me, so that way we're not both having to like find a parking spot. Because, I mean, I'm sure as all y'all know, it's like navigating a big sailboat through a tiny little, you know, parking lot is definitely difficult.
And it's something you're going to experience whether or not you go van life or truck camper life. It's going to be a pain no matter what. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So some points for the van that I need to hit on are like, my turning radius is actually really good. I was pretty impressed with it. It's actually a lot better than my Chevy Duramax I used to have that I traded in for this van. Another thing is that the height clearance is a lot lower than his truck. So I think like 13 feet or something like that is the height.
Yeah, about 13.5 feet.
Yeah, so he's at 13.5 feet, and I'm at like 9 foot 10 inches
You
or 9
can
foot.
see his roof.
Yeah, you can see
here.
the roof of. I don't know if it's coming in pretty well, but you can see the roof of my van sitting here at the dining table of theirs. So definitely advantages for that as far as like trees and stuff like that. So that's a good advantage. Another good advantage is that this is a really good selling point for me, is that if I'm boondocking or parked in a public environment or anything like that, you know, Walmart, and say somebody is banging on my door or whatever, I can go from my bed into the driver's seat and just take off. I don't have to exit the vehicle. And that also goes for like raining, you know, say it's raining or snowing outside. As soon as I park, I can just go straight into the bed. I don't have to worry about anything else. I don't have to lock a door, unlock a door, set up stairs.
Stay nice and dry.
Yep, stay nice and dry.
Don't have to go outside at all.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I am rear wheel drive. There's some vans out there that are front wheel drive, so that's a good bonus for me, is to be rear wheel drive. And there's a lot more weight in the rear wheel drive. And that's another thing, is my weight is a lot less than his truck. So as far as like, if I am driving out in sand and stuff like that, the possibility of me getting sunk down in sand is a lot less.
And then I'd imagine you're a lot more stealthy too, right?
Oh
Being
yeah,
in town all
that's
the
very
time.
true. That's a reason I made that roof rack the clearance is very tight on that. Is so that way I could stay real stealth. Because if I park anywhere and they just see a flat black roof rack, you know, they're just gonna think it's just a work van, because I have no windows except for in the very back and in the cab, of course. So I don't stick out like a sore thumb, sort of like you guys do.
Right.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah.
Alright, should we start with costs?
Yeah, we could go into that real quick. So basically, we got our truck used from a dealership, and it was a 2017 with around 45,000 miles on it, and we got it for just about $45,000. The truck camper itself was also used. It was 4 years old, and it was actually located all the way up in Canada. We knew that we wanted a Northern Light as soon as we, stepped into one. We went to a lot of different RV dealerships, and we checked out travel trailers, fifth wheels, Class A, B, C motorhomes, everything. And as soon as we checked out truck campers and looked at the different options out there, we really liked the design and the build of the Northern Lights. They're just very well insulated, very well crafted, a true Four Seasons camper. But they're very hard to find used, and new they're pretty expensive.
Especially for a short bed truck.
Yeah, there's not a lot of options out there for short bed trucks. So we found a really good deal out in Canada and wound up driving all the way out there to get it. It was around $20,000.
How much did the trip cost you to go to
the trip?
Just gas?
You know what? Honestly, I wasn't really paying too much attention.
We pretty much
track all
drove
that.
straight there.
Oh, so just the price and
gas.
gas.
Came back.
Yeah.
The cost of my van was, I bought it used, so it had like 19 to 20,000 miles on it. And I shopped around for a while, but I ended up getting a good deal, I believe, is $34,500, and that was tax, title, everything out the door. And then as far as the build, I kind of lost track. I just started buying stuff immediately because I was still working at the time, and then I took 2 weeks off in between jobs to actually build it. But right now, I believe it's about like $7,000, $7,000 to $8,000, probably more. I honestly can't remember, but I definitely put a lot of money into like the important things like solar, my furnace, metal to build out my van, and the roof rack. I mean, all that stuff just adds up super, super, super quick.
Your solar and batteries.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, definitely. My battery alone cost $1,500, so like it was.
Adds up quick.
Yeah, it just definitely adds up quick. And I think the solar panels, it was like $500, so that's $2,000 alone just in solar, and that's not including my solar charger or my inverter and everything else. So it just like adds up so quickly. I mean, it just surprised me, like how much I was spending so quickly and like what I was getting. But the way I see it, it's an investment. So like those solar power, I mean, the pros of it outweigh the cons of having to pay it, and the expensive battery is going to last me about 15 to 20 years. So it's actually a lot cheaper than buying lead acid or glass mat.
They're a lot less maintenance too. You don't have to worry about like the water levels with the lead acid battery. They're constantly moving around, and you have to maintain them a lot more. You don't really have to worry about that.
No, yeah. As soon as I plugged it in, I just forgot about it.
And you can drain it more too.
Yeah, I can go all the way down to about like I think 10%. So let's get into maintenance. So
with the diesel trucks like what we have versus a gas van, you definitely have to pay more for diesel parts as well as oil changes. Our diesel engine, it uses a lot of oil. I just did the 60,000 mile maintenance, which I went over in another video, and I had to replace the cabin air filter as well as the fuel filters. That's 2 fuel filters you have to replace, which from the dealership costs about $100. I got mine on Amazon for about $50. So when you have to factor in that, it gets a little expensive, but the plus side of that is you get a substantial amount of power and torque, as well as just durability. Diesel engines, if you maintain them right, last for a long time.
What about maintenance as far as the actual camper itself?
Yeah, the camper, it's a bit tricky because somebody else built it, and they don't really build it for other people to work on it themselves. So it's very hard to access things. So I just had a P-trap break in the plumbing system not too long ago, and that wasn't too hard to fix. But I was trying to access like the rest of the plumbing system, or at least just see where it went and see how those pipes were doing. And I couldn't even pull off the wall because it was stapled into place and just damn near impossible to take off.
Definitely makes sense. Yeah, with my van, because I'm the one that built it, I know how everything is, so I can control the quality of how everything's done, and I can cheap out on things that need to be cheaped out on. Like for example, my sink is a mixing bowl, stainless steel mixing bowl from Walmart that I just drilled a hole in and made a drain, put a drain in it, so I spent like, I don't know, $20 total with the drain and everything on my sink, when like a stainless steel sink is like $100 at Lowe's, so. But I also spent a lot more money on stuff that I knew that I needed, like the Renogy solar panels. I've done a lot of research on all that stuff, and they are definitely the way to go as far as solar. So I definitely recommend them. I haven't had any problem with them whatsoever. And also when it comes to just general maintenance involved on the van, there's a lot of transits out there. So there's a lot of parts out there. I mean, they just mass produce them. I mean, they've been making transits for a long time now, and they haven't really changed too much. So as far as the general mechanics, so things are pretty cheap. You can go to rockauto.com and find a lot of good cheap parts that are quality.
I'd imagine if it broke down, there's a lot more Ford dealerships around too than Sprinters.
Yeah, definitely. That's a problem that I see a lot of people have, is if you're not mechanically inclined, you can't just go to a Ford dealership and then have them work on your Transit. And I'm sure they get it all the time. And then, as with Sprinters, the price difference is a lot difference between a Mercedes and a Ford. So, Ford's pretty much, in my opinion, the way to go. I've definitely called a lot of places, and I called a bunch of heating and air companies, electricians, pipe fitters, any kind of like industrial job where they have work vans, and then all of them.
I think another important thing to note here is that when we're comparing van life to truck camper life, is when you have a van and you're living out of it, if something goes wrong with your van and you can't fix it yourself and you have to take it to your dealership, then that can be an extra cost as well, because then there goes your home. You have to figure out where you're going to stay now. Are you going to stay with a friend? Are you going to rent out an Airbnb? Or go stay at a hotel? With the truck camper, you could just park your truck camper wherever you need to, and you could take your truck in and get it fixed and still have a place to go and have your home and all your stuff there and not have to worry about that factor.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, the only thing would be cost of like renting a vehicle. So like maybe $30 a day.
Yeah.
Compared to like a hotel. I mean, I'm sure you could get a Roach Motel for like $40 a day, but you're still having to
get a rent.
You're still having to rent a vehicle as well, just to get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it definitely makes sense. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, the whole point of all this video is just to give a general comparison between van life and truck life, and I really hope with the tour that I gave and the tour that you guys gave us, it really gives shines a new light and different points of view to you guys on.
Yeah, we're just trying to get all the information out there so you can, take your lifestyle and assess, our lifestyles and see which one fits best for you.
Yeah.
Just gotta figure out what your priorities are and which situation would be more apt to fit with that.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess this is it for me. I definitely appreciate being on y'all's channel. I mean, I definitely had a blast. Yeah, hanging out.
Yeah, thanks so much for, showing us your rig, and it's been awesome meeting you and hanging out with you for the past couple days. Yeah, thank you for, coming and agreeing to be a part of our show.
Yeah, God bless
awesome
Laundry
having
Day.
you on here, right? All right, guys, well, that just about wraps up our comparison between truck life versus van life. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something from it. Hopefully it helped you come to some kind of conclusion, or at least get you closer to deciding what you want to do. That's it for now. I just wanted to thank our guest Tyler for coming on the show with us. We've had an awesome time hanging out with you this weekend. And yeah, thanks for showing us your build, man.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it, man. It is an honor to be a part of this. And you guys are a great couple, and I'm sure you guys are going to go very far in life. So it's definitely an honor.
Thank
I
you. And
appreciate
how
that,
can
man.
our
Thank
viewers
you.
check you out? What's your Instagram?
Oh, my Instagram, man. I don't even know what my
Shout
Instagram
out to the
is.
Instagram.
Right?
Check him out. This guy's an awesome climber.
Yeah.
We will link his Instagram and whatever else in the description.
It's HGarden27. I'm a pretty big rock climber. I do a lot of photography, and I just freelance on everything. I don't get paid or anything. I just do it for myself. And but yeah, my Instagram is HGarden27. So the number 27. That big of a deal.
Alrighty. We'll see you guys in the flip side.
Peace.
When the sky